Rich people aren't just happier, they're neurologically different from you. And no, that's not an insult. That's science. Uncomfortable science. Here's what actually happens inside your brain when money enters the picture, and why some of it is genuinely terrifying. Your brain runs on a threat detection system. It's ancient, paranoid, and absolutely exhausting. When you're broke, or even just financially stressed, your brain pumps out cortisol, the stress hormone, and not a little. Chronically elevated cortisol literally shrinks your prefrontal cortex over time. That's the part responsible for decision-making, impulse control, and planning ahead. So poverty doesn't just drain your wallet, it quietly drains your cognitive capacity. You become worse at the exact decisions that could help you escape the situation. That's not a character flaw. That's biology working against you. Now flip it. Financial security drops cortisol levels. Your nervous system stops treating every Tuesday like a survival situation. And suddenly, your brain has bandwidth for creativity, for strategy, for thinking 3 moves ahead instead of just getting through the week. It's the difference between playing chess and playing chess while someone's poking you with a fork. But here's where it gets genuinely wild. Money doesn't just calm your brain down, it rewires how you perceive risk. Studies show that as people accumulate wealth, their risk tolerance goes up, not because they become reckless, but because the psychological cost of failure shrinks. Losing $1,000 hits differently when you have 10 of them versus when you have 1. This is why wealthy people invest more aggressively, start more businesses, and make bolder moves. It's not confidence in a vacuum, it's confidence backed by a neurological safety net. The brain literally calculates risk differently. The same decision that paralyzes someone financially stressed becomes almost casual for someone financially secure. Same brain, completely different math. Now for the part nobody talks about at dinner parties. Money changes how you relate to other people, and not always for the better. There's a famous series of studies, monopoly experiments, UC Berkeley research, where subjects given more money, even artificially and temporarily, became measurably less empathetic. They interrupted more. They made less eye contact. They attributed their success to personal brilliance rather than circumstance. One experiment literally had people play rigged Monopoly, where one player started with twice the money and rolled 2 dice instead of 1. By the end of the game, the rich player was eating more snacks, moving their piece louder, and explaining why they won, despite the game being designed for them to win. The brain starts building what researchers call a power bias. It begins filtering out information that challenges your sense of control or status. You stop needing other people's perspectives because your own perspective has been repeatedly validated by your results, by your lifestyle, by everyone around you suddenly being very agreeable. It's not evil, it's adaptation, but it's worth knowing it happens. Here's the concept that ties all of this together: perceived control. Psychologists have studied this for decades. When people feel in control of their outcomes, their confidence doesn't just rise emotionally, it changes physiologically. Lower cortisol, higher dopamine, greater willingness to engage with hard problems instead of avoiding them. The interesting thing about perceived control is that it doesn't even require actual control. The belief is enough to shift behavior, which means financial education, understanding how money works, how to make it move, how to think about it strategically, can start rewiring your brain before the money even shows up. This is exactly the kind of thinking behind what Vantrol Wealth is built on. Not just managing money, but understanding the psychological infrastructure underneath it. Because the neuroscience is clear. The way you think about wealth shapes how you build it, and how you build it shapes how you think. So what's the takeaway here? Money changes your brain. That's real. But the direction of that change, whether it makes you sharper or more isolated, more strategic or more oblivious, isn't automatic. It's a choice, an informed one. The people who build lasting wealth aren't just lucky. They've trained their brains to function like they already have the security, the calm, the clarity, the long-term thinking, even before the bank account reflects it. Your brain is plastic. It adapts to what you consistently believe and consistently do. So the question isn't whether money will change your brain. It will. The question is, are you going to be conscious about how?